All right, my family, so I end up having to do another video. I had started making my Chile Rellenos or poblano chicken soup for tonight, and well, the video happened to cut off. So at this point, we're going to start very fresh, very new, and we're just going to go ahead and do this with you. Again, I'm going to put the recipe in the description box on this one. And we're going to take it step by step just on this soup alone. So we're not adding, like I did, I had the oatmeal with that one. So it got abruptly cut off. I sincerely apologize, but I didn't leave you hanging because I now just created another video strictly on this soup. So where we are at is the broiler is preheating. We're going to take our poblano peppers that I picked in the garden. I'm going to put these in my oven right now, and I'm going to let the skins get charred. Once these get charred, we will be back, and I'm going to show you how to make this soup. This is a low-carb version. In the meantime, I might go check the garden and see if we have any more just to add to this. So in the oven, they're going to go, and we're going to get these charred. I am going to turn these while this is in there with the broiler so that I can get even charred all the way around and get that roasted. You can even use this on a grill if you have a grill. So we're going to get this and we will be right back. I was just out in the garden, y'all. I have got to, when it's not raining, probably tomorrow, I'm going to take you out to the garden, what we planted in the fall. I was absolutely amazed when I went out there to see what's going on. Those peppers, and we've had temps in the 40s, y'all, but it's been fluctuating from 40s, 60s, 50s at night, and then between 60s, 70s, and 80s during the day. So it has actually got our vegetables, including, I kid you not, so far, including, I have squash that are flowering. I'm not quite sure if there's zucchini or yellow squash. I will find out soon enough. I don't know how long I'm going to be keeping them going. It's worth a shot to try it, but so far they look absolutely gorgeous. So tomorrow I'm going to take you on a garden tour for our fall crops, show you what's happening, and the summer so far it was rough in the summer, but for right now, I'm actually thankful. I'm going to get some vegetables. I was really, really excited when I just went out there, and I actually found one pepper that I could add to these peppers right here. The rest of them are kind of still growing yet, and I don't want to prematurely pick them. So we're going to go ahead and continue this, and we will be right back. Okay, y'all, so we've got a nice char going on with these peppers. So now what we're going to do is let these rest for 10 minutes. I'm going to actually take some aluminum foil and cover this up to make that steam pocket in here. And then we're going to leave these sit for 10 minutes and then cool off just a bit so that we can handle them and pull that skins off of these peppers. At that point, we're going to go ahead and set up our soup. And I will show you, there's a couple ways that people will use this. Some will puree it up and then add it to their soup. You can chop these up if you didn't want to puree it. I do have some chili, or I actually have some poblano peppers chopped in my freezer that I could add straight to that. Also, if I didn't want to add just the chard, if there's not enough. So you can always add to this. You can add other type of peppers of this if you wanted to. I'm just going to chop mine up. I'm not going to puree it in this dish. You're welcome to do either one. It's just a base, what we're making here. And I'm just going along with the recipe. So right now, we're going to leave these sit. Now I'm going to chop this up. I'm going to show you how I'm going to use my next part. I'm going to take this step by step. A lot of people, I understand you don't, you might not like it where it goes stopping and then goes to the next step. But to me, step by step, for a lot of people, it seems that a lot of folks enjoy that because they get to see each step on creating or doing the dishes. And so, I mean, there are so many ways of making videos on cooking. I like to be step by step and show you every aspect to this meal so you don't miss out. So we will be right back after this. I'm going to let this sit, and then we are going to pull that skin out. Once we pull the skin off, we're going to take and de-seed them, chop them up, and then we're going to put them in our Dutch pot. I am using an enamel Dutch cast iron pot. So these are amazing. I love this. Now I'd like to get one that's shorter. Let me show you this one. The one I got my eyes set on, this is the deep Dutch pot, which I absolutely love, but for 2 people it can be too much. The one I'm actually looking for, I think, is about 8 to 10 inch. It's about halfway of this with these 2 handles. I am going to be looking out for that, because that is the next part on my Dutch pots that I'd like to have in my kitchen. I will be, while I'm doing my videos, or while I'm doing my business in baking breads, I have some ideas that I'm going to go ahead and make some videos for you too. And I may end up doing some of those for y'all, and that way you can have them for those of you who are out of state and you can't really get to my bakery or whatever. So we'll see how this goes. I do have some upcoming videos on something amazing I do want to try. I went and finally got enough sourdough discard, y'all. So I have plenty enough to work with, because I am going to be making some sourdough crackers. I will definitely be making some videos on these, because I do want to start using this sourdough, and my other sourdough is absolutely ready for bread baking. So, and I've got to feed it because it was in the refrigerator. So these are, yeah, this is absolutely ready to go. It's all bubbly inside of here. So this is a discard, and we are ready to rock and roll on making some crackers. So that's going to be the next videos coming up. All right, y'all, we will be back just as soon as the 10 minutes is up on our peppers. Okay, y'all, so here we are finished with our poblano peppers. And now at this point, the 10 minutes, and you see the skin just comes right off very easy, just like that. So we're going to peel these. I had already started getting most of them done, but I wanted to show you how these worked. So, and then I'm just going to pull that center out with the seeds. I'm going to remove these seeds and the insides like so, right here. I'm just going to take and scrape all my seeds out of this, off my peppers on the sides, just like so. And some of them, I might have some seeds in here, but because I don't want to waste my peppers, basically. I'm just going to try to scrape off these seeds the best I can without losing any of my pepper. Sometimes I had very few do that. They just wanted to stick to the pepper and all. So I don't want a whole lot of seeds in here. Now, like I said, this is where you can actually, if you have a really nice good blender, you can puree this up if you want to. I just kind of want to have these little chunks, so I'm going to mince mine just like so. Make my strips and then chop it up in minced pieces. And I'm going to stick these in my bowl, and this is going to go into my soup. We have a rainy day today. It's not exactly cold, but it is a rainy, gloomy day, and sometimes it's the weather of the fall. Our temps at night are average between 60s, 50s, and 40s right now, and our highs are 60s, 70s, and 80s. So, I mean, we still have some warm points, and, well, it's just a good day for a soup. It's fall. It reminds me of fall and soups like this, so, and, I mean, it's fall, y'all, so soups and stews is pretty much the big thing for winter. And these are new recipes. I am trying a bunch of new recipes this year. My husband and I talked about we wanted to get out of the same old, so here is one of them. We love Chile Rellenos, so we're going to try it in a soup, and it's low carb. That's a plus. Alright, y'all, so here is our peppers we have done. Now I'm going to clean this off, and we are going to get started in putting our soup together. So let me get this cleaned up and we will be right back. Alright y'all, so we are going to be using, like I said, my enamel Dutch pot. I love this thing in the wintertime. It's great for bread, stoops, yeah, you know what I meant. But these can go straight from the stove to the oven. I mean, these are beautiful. I love these. So my recipe calls for 4 medium poblano peppers. Now, I didn't have those 4 medium. All we had were small ones from the garden, but this will be good enough because it equals out approximately this. I'm not doing the full recipe, I'm doing half, so this is perfect. It calls now for 2 tablespoons of butter, and in place of butter, I'm actually going to use about a tablespoon of olive oil instead. I like the fact that olive oil is less fat, and it's pretty healthy, y'all. So we need a 1/4 cup of chopped onions. Now I'm actually going to keep that in this recipe because basically onions, we love them. So it's between an 1/8 to a 1/4 for us. Like I said, I'm doing half of this recipe, so it does call for a 1/4 cup of chopped onions. The next one, we're going to let this heat up, and I need 2 cloves of minced garlic. So I'm going to get my 2 cloves of garlic out here, and I'm just going to keep this running with y'all. It'll be like you're standing in the kitchen with me for once, I reckon, instead of pausing you all the time. Although there are some things that may take a little more time. I'm just going to go ahead and pause it during those points. But for something like this, it's not too bad. We got to wait for the oil to heat up anyways, so. Now I'm going to use, again, half of this recipe, so I'm not going to confuse you all. It's just for 2 people. There ain't no sense in making the whole entire amount. Now, I could freeze it if I wanted to as well, but I'm just going to do this. So, my oil is just about getting it glisten to it. Oh, y'all, that's amazing. I see it dancing and shimmering without it smoking. We know we got the right point. So I'm just going to go ahead and get my garlic minced while I'm waiting on our oil as well. Okay. We're also going to be using chicken broth, and I'm going to use my home canned chicken broth. So, yeah, we're going to use actually chicken bone broth. I absolutely love using this. It is amazing flavor, and the fact that it's got good health benefits. So we are going to be using home canned. Oh, that smells so good, y'all. Alright, so our peppers are pretty much, they're already cooked or cooked down. But we're going to add our onions. Cook these down just a little bit, and then I'm going to add my garlic. Now you can add more garlic if you are a garlic person like we are. I'm probably going to add more, just a little bit more than 1.5 or 2 cloves or 1 for this recipe. Now I'm going to add a couple more to mine. These are just bases to these recipes. You can honestly add your choice, your flavoring. Make it yours. Make it your preference and flavors and balances. Some people don't like garlic at all. You can omit it. Some people love garlic like me. You can add more. Or some just like what the recipe calls for, and it's just enough. So like I said, make it your own, y'all. I pretty much do that to all these recipes anyway, so I like playing with them and I like working with them. So now I'm going to go ahead at the same time. I do not want to get my garlic burnt because it will leave a bitter taste. You just want to reach that golden point, and that is it. Now I'm going to also go ahead at this point and we're going to add our chilies, our peppers. We're going to mix all of this together in here. Get this cooked down just a little bit, and then we're going to add cumin, about a teaspoon of ground cumin. And I'm just going to top that in there and just mix that flavor with it. Oh, it already smells. Oh my goodness, it smells so good, y'all. Okay, so now at this point, I'm going to add my chicken broth. Now it calls for 4 cups of chicken broth. Each pint has about 2 cups, so it would be a good quart, maybe just a hair over a quart, depending on how much. If you used home canned, sometimes it can siphon a little bit, so you're looking at about 4 cups, maybe in 1 quart or 2 pints. Now, I'm going to let this simmer for a bit. And we're going to go ahead and simmer with our chicken. Now, you can use, at this point, I am going to be using a chicken that I ended up cooking the other night. We made a beautiful pomegranate chicken. And so I am actually using the pieces left over from that chicken thigh. And so I'm going to be adding that to this soup. Oops, no bones. You can use a rotisserie chicken. You can use whatever type of chicken that your little hearts desire in this. You can just use chicken breast, add it to it, whatever you want. I'm just choosing the type of chicken I have on hand, and it's a good way of using leftovers. I'm also breaking this down into pieces. Okay. It calls for 1.5 pounds of boneless, skinless thighs or breast, and you want them into 1/2-inch pieces. So you can use raw chicken if you wanted to. It's just a quick, easy way to have it cooked too. So you can use that as an option as well. That's why I tell you these recipes are easy to work with. And you can add as much or little as you want. Just making sure I have no skins on this and no bones. And that should be good. Actually, those leftovers was just enough for this recipe. That was pretty cool. At least for our end. It wouldn't be if it was making the full recipe. But this is perfect. Oh my goodness. I wish we could do smell a video. I'm telling y'all. This just screams. The smell of it is just fall all through this. I cannot wait to try this. Now I wish I had some fresh cilantro, y'all. This would be perfect with that. So I'm going to check this here after a while and see if I want to add any more chicken or not. These are just remnants left over. So I'm going to go ahead and let this simmer for a bit. Let these marry in their flavors. And as they do, I will be right back to show you what needs to be done for the rest of this recipe. It's really simple and it's not a whole lot to it. So we will be right back. Okay, y'all, so this has been simmering and I'm going to go ahead and still allow this on simmer, but I'm going to be adding cream cheese now. Now the recipe calls for 8 ounces of cream cheese. And you can add some salt and pepper to this. Now I'm going to tell you, I'm not going to add any more pepper because my little poblanos have a kick. And enough kick that if you had a cold, this would probably kick its butt. So I am definitely not adding any more heat. Now, for those who may have a milder version of a poblano, you might want to add some more heat. In the cheese mixture that you're going to be using, not only you're going to use 8 ounces of cream cheese, but you're going to use about 1.5 cups of cheddar cheese or some sliced pepper jack cheese, any type of cheeses that you want. You can add even just shredded pepper jack if you wanted to, if it's not hot enough for you. This to me is extremely, it's definitely got its kick, so it is definitely hot enough. So I'm actually going to take and break down this cream cheese into pieces because I'm going to have this melting into my soup to make this creamy based. And you can blend this if you wanted to beforehand, because sometimes the cream cheese doesn't always melt, but if you allow it to simmer enough, it will. So I'm just going to go ahead now and allow this to melt down. You can add some heavy whipping cream to this as well if it has too much of a heat. Cream will take that heat intensity of peppers and tone it down. So I'm just going to go ahead and do this. Just like so. And then I'm going to be adding cheddar cheese to my soup. And I will be adding more cheese to this later for topping on it. Right now I'm just using this to blend in with my soup, just to get that Rellenos flavoring. Then I'm going to be adding a little bit of salt. It's salt to taste, salt and pepper, y'all. So I'm just going to go ahead and mix this together, let this simmer, and that will be supper, basically. That is it. So it looks amazing, y'all. It looks absolutely amazing. I'm about to try some of this right quick and see what that flavoring is. Like I said, this is a new recipe for both of us, so, and it was just like, to me, it was a perfect fall rainy day soup. So, and I could absolutely see this so far from what I have tasted. This would be perfect in the winter time. So let me go ahead and scoop up a little bit of this, and we're going to give it a try and see what we think about this. So I got some of this and we'll be right back with you. Okay, y'all, so I'm actually currently trying to cool this off so we can try this and see what we think about it. I've seen some really good casseroles I'm wanting to try too. And I do try to keep it low carb, y'all, because a lot of people on our channel are low carb or Mediterranean as well. So I'm still keeping in that aspect. We can't my husband being diabetic, I just can't move away from that anyway. So let's try this. Wow. It's got that beautiful creaminess to it. That chicken in that home canned chicken broth. Wow, it just, you can taste the authentics of this. There is really no comparison. There's hardly any words of using fresh products versus store-bought. It's really hard for me to describe that. This is absolutely creamy. It's got that great chicken flavor and the spice from those peppers, and adding that cheese just kind of blends it like I know some of you have had chicken and broccoli soup, or broccoli soup with that creamy cheesy flavor to it. Add some peppers and some chicken to that, and it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. Would I make this again? Absolutely. I will say, to me, it needs some more cheese, so I will definitely be adding some more of that. In the meantime, I'm going to turn this off because this is just, it's ready to go. And so soup is done. I will include the recipe in here for y'all, no problem. It is definitely worth trying. I hope your family enjoys it. Remember though, I'm learning the smaller the poblano pepper, and I guess that comes with, is it immature enough? It probably wasn't. So the smaller and not so mature, they got a little bit more kick, y'all, than just the natural matured version. So just so you know that. And if you get some peppers that maybe you want to add something like jalapenos instead, maybe you like a lot more spice than I do, make this your own. So, I mean, I'm just going to leave it at that. Make it your own. You can add different variety of cheeses if you want to. Just make it your own. Enjoy it. It's perfect for a cold, rainy fall or winter day. So until next time, y'all. And again, I apologize for my last video. I did not give it a proper send-off, I guess. So much love to each and every one of you from Parton's Heritage Homestead.